Hey there, everybody. How's it going out there? This is Lee with the Tavern Brawlers, and I'm proud to present to you today a Genesis Returns spoiler for Set 4 for Alpha Clash. Thank you so much to Rising Empire Studios for allowing me to have this opportunity to be able to share this card with all of you. This card showcases a character from Set 1 that I have always really appreciated and loved, and I'm particularly excited to be able to show this card. Let's take a look. Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo. Trigger, enter. You may engage any number of clash cards you control. The next clash card you play this turn costs 1 green less for each card engaged this way. This is a very exciting card. It is an epic. It's a 5/4 for 5, and it costs 2 green pips and 3 of any color in order to be able to play. You can also engage this Sonoro as well in order to help reduce the cost of the next clash card being played. So that's pretty fun. But let's say you play this and you have another unit out. You could tap the other unit, and maybe you could just play a Magnet Cunning Planner for free because it costs 1 green pip, and it would be reduced by 1 green pip by engaging another clash card. So you could play this Magnet Cunning Planner for free. Suppose you already have a couple cunning planners on the field, or maybe you say, hey, this cunning planner is going to cost me 1 resource, but maybe I can engage it in order to help me reduce a resource, so it's still free through its use and going to be helping to reduce the next thing that you play as well. Something like a Magnate the Tyrant, who has 3 green pips, and so you can engage up to 3 of your clash cards in order to reduce this up to 3 green resources, and then this only costs 2 to play. And Magnate the Tyrant is obviously a very cool card with a lot of abilities that do a lot of different things. So that might be a really great way to be able to chain those different reactions into that. Another great card that could be used in order to come into play also has 3 green pips is Sonoro Awakened Breaker. This is absolutely one of my favorite cards in the entire game, and it has a trigger attack that this card gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and you draw a card. Then, if your contender is a green alpha, you may ready a clash card you control with an initial resource cost of 1 or less, right? So you might be able to have something out in the field, engage it in order to help reduce the cost of Sonoro, attack with Sonoro, and ready up that clash card that you used in order to reduce his cost. Then maybe you could follow it up with something like a frontline and untap or ready your Sonoro Awaken Breaker and be able to attack with your Sonoro Awaken Breaker again. Attack with a 1-drop and then attack with the Sonoro and then untap the 1-drop again. It can just go back and forth a few times there with that combination. And when you're done with those, you can play Chowling the Huntsman, and you can send one of those clash cards that cost 5 to Oblivion in order to play this for free, and then just be able to swing for another attack. That combination on turn 5 of being able to chain these different things together seems very extremely powerful. The next thing that we might be able to do is reduce the Sonoro Fierce Fighter by cost of 1 and play that, and enter, send another clash card you control to Oblivion, and if you do, choose 1 alpha clash card from your Oblivion with an initial resource cost of 2 or less and put it into play ready. That card cannot attack this turn. The advantages you have in doing this is that you can engage a clash card to be able to reduce the cost of this Fierce Fighter, then use the Fierce Fighter to send the card that was engaged to Oblivion in order to reduce this, and in order to put it back into the Oblivion. And then when it gets to the Oblivion, Sonoro can use that card that you sent to Oblivion if it costs 2 or less and bring it back into play ready. Or maybe you have another unit like a Sonoro Spin Master. If this card enters play from Oblivion, you may ready target clash card you control. So perhaps you play Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo, you engage a Sonoro Spin Master on the field, then you attack with the Rhythmic Dynamo, so he's exhausted, or that he's tapped down. And then you play the Sonoro Fierce Fighter, sacrificing the Spin Master, bringing the Spin Master back, readying Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo to attack again. Something else that we could also reduce the cost of is a Sonoro Sonic Blaster and use him for a victory trigger if your opponent has any Clash cards that are exhausted. You might be able to get that victory trigger and do the same thing that we just discussed with the Spin Master, or maybe potentially some other targets as well. So get that victory trigger, be able to bring the Spin Master back and ready up either this Sonic Blaster again, so you can get another victory trigger, or ready up your Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo and have a big attack. Another really cool 2-drop that might fit into this package as well is Menacing Magnate. If you engage one unit towards the Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo, you could play a Menacing Magnate for one, or you could use the different combinations of things that we just discussed in order to be able to bring this out, to cheat it back out into the field. Some of the other cool things that we might look at is other things that cost more green pips in order to play. So what can we do? How big can we go with the different resources? How many resources can we reduce here? We want to optimize that potential. This card is a card that you could also play for free without paying its resource cost if you control 4 more Magnate Clash cards. So, if you are able to set all these different units up and continue to be able to cycle units around and get things going and have a bunch of units on the field very steadily and very reliably, perhaps Magnate Unwavering might find a way into this package. But Magnate the Undisputed costs up to 5 green pips, and it costs 1 less green pip already if you control 2 or more Magnate Clash cards. So this might only cost 4 green pips as it is. So you would only have a cost of 3 resources if you were able to engage enough Clash cards in order to be able to pay for it. So imagine playing a Magnate the Undisputed for only 3 resources. Another really cool card that fits into the Magnate package and also reduces costs is the Magnate Full of Rage. And that reduces the cost of Magnate Clash cards by 1 green. Another card that has the potential for a lot of reduction in cost is Kagan the Dragon. He has 4 green pips. If you were able to engage 4 units in order to be able to play your next Clash card, and then you play a Kagan for 2 resources of any color, that seems pretty good. That means that you can now start casting Kagans on turn 7, because this costs 5. But you don't need as many green pips. You can only have up to 2 or 3 green resources in your resource pool, because you can cheat those green resources in order to get into the higher costs of those resource pips. And I think that's kind of pretty significant in a lot of different things. Alright, now let's go into another color. We already checked out white. Let's check out my favorite color combination, red-green. What if we look at a War Strifebringer who generates a couple of tokens? So target trigger enter, you may activate the portal and then create 2 1/1 War Minion Clash tokens. Sonoro Rhythmic Dynamo does not require non-token Clash cards. It says any Clash card, so it means you can use tokens in order to engage to reduce the cost of the next thing that you play. And War Strifebringer is a 4-cost unit that comes into play on turn 4 in order to set up your turn 5 play. That's a pretty convenient resource curve right there. So if that comes into play and creates 2 units, then you can potentially have up to 2 or 3 units hanging around until the next turn in order to be able to use with the Sonoro with the Rhythmic Dynamo. Another really cool turn 4 card that you could be able to hold up is Swarm Tactics. If your opponent goes to play a 4 or 5 cost card on their 4th or 5th turn or later in the game, if they play a more resource intensive card, you could respond with Swarm Tactics and counterplay and create a bunch of 1/1 red War Minion Clash tokens, where X is the initial resource cost of the Clash card being played. So perhaps your opponent goes to play something and you play this in response and create 4 or 5 minion tokens, you now have a pile of units that you might be able to potentially use with the Sonoro next turn. So there we go. That's what we have. We have Sonoro with Rythmic Dynamo, and there's a lot of other combinations out there that I'm really excited to explore. And I hope that I've kind of like got the gears turning for you on some options and potentials, and maybe some ideas that you might be able to use this card toward. I'm excited to see what you come up with, and I would love to be able to get that feedback from all of you guys as well in the tavern or on this YouTube page. I would like to share with you as well that we have 2 other spoilers in the Tavern Brawlers team. We have my spoiler that's being released right now today, and then next week we have Weave TCG is releasing their spoiler, and then in October we have What Game Next releasing his spoiler as well. So stay tuned, and I have some exciting news. Not only do we all have spoilers, but we're also doing a giveaway. We will have 3 boxes of Genesis and some promos that we're going to be putting into the pool as well. For each video that you like, subscribe, and share, we will put your name into the pool. So you have up to 3 chances to be able to win a prize support. And then we will do a raffle at the end once everything's all released and we have product in hand. We'll be able to do a raffle for all those who liked and supported all 3 of these videos. And there we have it. Thank you all so much for being here and being part of this spoiler season. We're very excited to be able to share these cards with you, and we're happy that you're here to experience them with us. What other combinations of cards are you seeing out there that you're enjoying? Not just our spoilers, but any. Let us know what you're liking so far from Set 4 Genesis, and make sure that you stay tuned and get those opportunities to be able to like, share, and subscribe in order to enter into our giveaways. For those of you out there who love to play games, we host a monthly league for Alpha Clash, and we would love to have everybody come and play. So come check that out as well. Thank you all so much, and have a wonderful night, and see you in the tavern.